Hi, welcome back to Guardian Angel Resin Creations. Today is Mystery Mould Thursday. If you ever get bored with watching Mystery Mould Thursday and want to know what it is beforehand, just let me know and I will change it all up. But I have a brand new mould that's got a little bit of hair on it, so I'm just going to grab that off. I'm not going to show you what it is, but I am going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of the way for a minute. Now, we all know when we do some molds and we do our Eco Resin, the molds go in because the Eco Resin's too heavy for some of the molds. Now, I'm not sure whether it'll do it with this one, but I want to show you what I did the other day on something and it worked out perfect. So I have a piece of acrylic right there, and then I've got some rice. So I'm going to pour my rice in. You just got to remember when you before you demold that you have got the rice, because otherwise it goes everywhere. So flatten it out, don't push it in. That's not what you want, because you will you'll move the mold on the inside and push it in. So give it a little bit of a bang. Actually, I might put a little bit more in there now that I've given it a bang. I do need to get a spoon out here, I think. An old spoon. Just get that in there. Now this mold is obviously not as flat as it could be. It's sort of raised there. So I'm hoping that this is not going to affect the mold when I'm pouring. So I've got my brand new Solid Solutions, what is it called? It's called Solidcrete Eco Casting Powder. I do have in my description, I now am affiliated with them, so I can bring you discount codes. So have a look at my description. I've got discount codes now for all sorts of things. I'm affiliated with quite a few companies. I make nothing from these affiliations. I'm not out there enough to be making any money from anything, but it actually gives me, I can use my own discount code. So when I go to buy my resin-crete, my colors, my resins from Solid Solutions, I actually can use my own discount card and get a discount. So that's why I've got these, so that personally I can get a discount. So they are all in most of my videos now. I will try and update the older ones because I haven't got any of the codes in the older ones. So please feel free to use my discount codes. That's what I get them for, so that you can get a discount. So I am going to stick that on there, and sorry, there is about to be a jet go over. Well, there we go. The joys of living near the RAF base. So that's all I've done, is I've just sat it on there, make sure it is on there properly, that it's not warped. There we go. And I want to try something different as well. I have got 6 of these, and they're Jess pigments from Temu. I've got hibiscus, I have a glazed aqua, I've got a couple of purples, a couple of blues, a couple of greens. So what I want to do with these, I want to try, and like this needs to be mixed obviously, I want to try and paint with them. Instead of putting them into my powder, I want to paint. So I'm going to see how that goes. So I'm going to do this. So I've got my powder. I always measure my powder. I measure my water separately. I pour my water into my powder. I don't want to breathe this in too much, like I am outside. If you've watched my videos, you will know I have a nice little desk outside in the corner of my pergola, and I keep my powder outside. So when I'm pouring it into my containers, I have a little scoop. I gently scoop from one container into another one so that I'm not making so much powder that you're breathing it in. So, and even when I pour my water in, don't just foof it in there. So you don't want to be breathing that powder in unnecessarily. So I have only used this once before, testing it. So let's see how we go. Now, I did get asked the other day, one of my lovely ladies said that when she puts her colorant in the powder, it thickens. So in my next video, I'm not going to do it today, in my next video I am going to make a couple of Christmas baubles. I am going to use this resin, and I'm going to use exactly the same pigment in this resin, and I'm also going to use my Eco Resin and see whether there's a difference in them, whether putting colouring in does make it thicker. This is a beautiful, beautiful mix. It is super smooth. It mixes up really well. And I have just a little square thing that I'm going to pour my excess into, because I've got they're numbers for a Christmas thing that I've got, and I just didn't do enough numbers, so I'm just going to make sure that is mixed, and I'm going to just gently pour it in. I will give this a bit of a wobble. This is not near as deep as I thought it was. Alright, so really need to put this on the scales when I actually do my molds, so that I know how much goes into my molds. So just get out any bubbles. There we go. You can also just lift it up, but you don't want to dislodge anything that's under there, so just give it a gentle tap. Make sure that is all out. Now, I reckon that's only taken about 100 grams. There we go. Top that all the way up. All the way to the very top. Now this is a 30-minute demold. So it is 12:15. So I will come out, just get that off. That out. I will come out at about 1:45, maybe 1 o'clock, and demold this, because I want to try before it sets up, because it's a 2-hour total cure. I want to get in between that half an hour and the 2 hours and put see whether I can just paint this on with a paintbrush and see. So like I have been talking to you, my other resin settles so fast, where this one, it's still floating. There's a little bit of a lump there, but it is still floating. So I'm just going to bring that down. Not sure whether you can see it or not. Move my cup out of the way. I've always got my arm in the way, haven't I? And I need 4 of these, so I'll see how many I can get. Bring it. I don't want to bring it up too far. we go. And I have washed out this mould because it is part of my Christmas stock, which is 12 months old. I reckon I'm going to make up another couple of 100 grams, and then I'll come back when this is all set up. Okay, so it has been exactly a half an hour, and I just did what I told you not to do and lift up the mould. So I am going to try get this rice back into this bag. So I've done my blocks. I'm going to leave my blocks, and I've just used the leftover with some teddies and a couple of other things. So I am just going to lift this up and try and get it over the bag. There we go. I didn't lose too much, and then I will just scrape it up. Probably not scrape it up because it's flicking all over me. There we go. Just get rid of it all. Get it out of the way. There we go. Just gently scrape it off to the edge of my bench and then scrape it into my hand. If I open my cupboard, my hand fits underneath the bench, so I can just get it into my hand. There we go. There we go. So this is just like, it's, as I said before, it's acrylic. I got it from Kmart. It's a pack of 4. It's still got the plastic over it because I want to use it for something else, but it comes in very handy to sit these molds on. So I'll definitely be getting some more. It's just from Spotlight, so I'll just move that to the side. I'll move all of these and I'll demold them later. So nice and smooth, and here we go. Got a couple of little marks where the bubbles have risen and made marks on the edges, but this is a beautiful, beautiful mold. Just going to be gentle. I don't want to break the wings, because I think I may have already broken one of them. Just gently pop that out. Out you come. There we go, just got that through, and gently get this through. Oh, how did we go? Look at that. How beautiful is that? So I can sand that if I want to and just get rid of those little marks, but no air bubbles anywhere. I just love that. So let's pop our mold back in the right way. What a beautiful mold. It's just a Temu. If I remember when I put this video up, I will link my mold, and I haven't been doing that, so I will try and start linking the molds for you so that you can go straight to the mold on Temu, because they are all Temus. So that is beautiful. Now I'm going to I'll pop these out so that you can see what they are, so then I can tidy up and do what I want to do. So hopefully they come out easy. Gonna pop out. I think I might have just broken it. Get him out. Out we go. Look, the little froggy. So, and I keep them on, not sure whether you can see them. I keep these on not silicone, on greaseproof paper, and I will do the same with this because it will mark my silicone, because it sort of sucks the silicone in. So I keep just a scrap piece, and there we go. So I'll just stick that on there for the minute so that it does not mark my bench. So just get that off. And our next one. Now I thought that these were see no, hear no, speak no evil, but they're not. So gently, oh, did I break something? I think I broke his toe. Maybe, no I didn't. Not quite. Just get him out. They're a little bit hard to come out of these molds, so just pop it out like that. There we go, that's got it. I need an extra hand. There we are. Here we go. That's that one. And then we have this one. So just pull the mold all the way out this time. That's better. There we go. So how cool is he? Oh, air bubbles in his toes. But I could sand them off, so air bubbles in those toes. Funny looking toes. There we go. So there's my little froggies. Put them off to the edge and move this mold out of the way. Get it. There we go. And then this is actually a handmade mold that I have made last year. And it's actually a Christmas one, if I don't break it. This was done with quite a hard silicone. So I have got some new silicone coming that is quite soft, that I want to try making a better mold. But this takes about, I think I just broke it, about 5 grams. Yeah, I did. About 5 grams of resin. So I'm just going to get that out so that I don't forget that it's in there for next time. Get my nails in there. Just pop him out. See, it's so hard, and I think because I made it so thick up the top there that it just makes it harder to get it out. And just gonna just get that in there. There we go, that's got him. That hasn't got it. There. Oh, come on. There we go. And had an air bubble anyway. So I do have I have a way of fixing them, like you can just glue them. But some of them I just sand back and put a star on. So there we go. So that's my little handmade tree. And so I just leave this to the side when I'm doing something. I do it in resin, I do it in Eco Resin. I am normally way more gentle pulling it out, and I do pop a little bit of alcohol or a little bit of water in there, and it does move it around a smidge. So I'm just going to wipe off my bench and we will get to colouring in. So rid of this. I have a bin right behind me that I put all my junk into. And that. I'll just get these out before I forget. Just some little teddies. There we go. Pretty. Couple of air bubbles in the noses, but that's all right. I'll put little eyes on them and I will seal them, and then I think I'm going to make key rings out of them. So that's those ones. I'll just move them off to the edge there, and then we'll get this. So I have a cloth here. Just wipe that down. That is just a wet one. It's a disinfectant wipe. Sorry about that. Now, get my little brushes. I'm going to start with this. Now, I should actually do it on a teddy instead of ruining that. So, as I said, these are Temu. These are in there for like delivery purposes, but I did keep them in there, which was probably a bit silly because now I'm going to get it all over my hands. Okay, I'm just going to try and get this off and I'll come back. Okay, so I now have stained fingers. So I've just got the little lids, and what I'm going to do is I want to just see what this does. Oh, that paints up quite nice actually. Look at that. Do his little toes. Like I'm using the wrong brush, totally. Little eye. And nose. Right, so I'm going to see how this one goes. Now I'm going to make sure my hands are totally clean before I touch this. Okay. Maybe a little bit thinner brush. Okay. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do the outside. So I'll get my purple and one little drop into that lid. Then this paintbrush is a bit dodgy. I think I needed a better one actually. This one might be a bit better. Let's wipe that off. That stains really easy. Okay. I just want to go wet the paintbrush and just go around that bit. Sorry, I'm not talking, I'm just concentrating. Do you think I need a better paintbrush than that? Let me find a better paintbrush. These are a bit dodgy. Alright, so I found one with a flatter edge that seems to be working better. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Oops. The only thing is, when you mark it, and it won't come off. So just really gently, I'm just going to do the outline because that's all I think I want to do. Just get that like that. I'm so sorry, I brought it towards my chest. There we are. All right, I'm going to finish the lines on this and then I'm going to come back. Before I finish doing this, I just wanted to show you what I was doing. Now, I've done the outline, and so that is with the straight paint. So what I'm doing now is I'm just wetting my brush, and I have got it in a little tiny lid with water. I have put no colour in there except for the colour that is on my brush. I'm just dabbing it in there, and then I am just letting the water run in the little crevices. So I'm dabbing it in there, and it's pretty much drying instantly, so it is soaking into the resin. So I'm just going to turn it around because I want this one around this side a tiny bit darker. So, and the more you dab the brush in there, the darker it gets. So I just want to just run this, just make it just that much darker. Hopefully you're not blurred. Run that down. It just covers up all the white and all of the little mistakes that I made, because you can't be perfect at doing this. Even though I tried, you do go over the lines and whatnot. So let's get rid of the white bit there. Dab that down. So you can see it just seeping into that damp resin. There we go. So I'm just going to turn it back around and I'm going to finish the body. I don't think I like how I've done that body, so I'm going to do something different on this side. So I'm just rinsing off my paintbrush there, and I did it with that colour, and I really don't like the way that turned out with that colour. So I have got actually I think I'm going to do it with green, and then I might do gold eyes. So I've got the green here, got my little lid, pop my little lid down there, and then I'm going to dab a bit in. I was worried that this would be too dark. So then I thought I might do it the purpley colour and do the darker green eyes. So I'm just going to just pop that out. Oops, and I'm going to get it everywhere. I could water this down, which might not be a bad idea actually. So might just get a little bit more water and just pop that into there. I'm going to give that a rinse because I don't need that anymore without getting it all over me. We'll give it a bit of a wipe out. Okay, that'll do. So I'm just going to just pour that in there. Lid back on my water so that I don't spill it. Then I am going to get this and just see. I don't think I like it. Well, it's not bad actually. Let's see. Can I always put a bit of gold over his body? And that's ended up way darker than I hoped. It sort of ended up sort of a bronzy, blacky. Oh well, it's done now. Okay. back in there. Just straighten up that line. Put it on his little head there. Sorry, I'm not sure whether you could see then. That there. Into the middle. Actually, I quite like it with the darker body. So I might do the other side with the darker body. Just give that a second to dry. It'll do. Yeah, that really is quite revolting, that colour. So there we are, that's much better. Try and get that. See how it's got like a sort of a chameleon type colour? There we are. Get that. So I have definitely proven that you can use your colorants for your Eco Resin. I can use this brand. So if you give it a try with another brand, let me know. Let me know whether it worked. Okay, I'm going to leave these little antennas because I had them blue. Then I'm going to do the eyes because I do not like the eyes. So I'm going to put some of these back. So let's put some lids on. Get it off my hands. Normally washes off after a couple of washes. And we have our dark green one right there. So get our little paintbrush there and get our dark green eyes. That's better. Looks a bit too close to the green, the blue, but it's all right. Much better than that olive green. Actually, it's avocado green. Yeah. I'm gonna buggered it up a bit with his antennas, but I can always get a little bit of white and just color that in. So I'm going to get our green, and this side will look a lot better because you're going to be able to see the difference. Go. Now green, and then I am going to just do our purple. So I've got another paintbrush here. And I will do his antennas because the other side is blue and I want this side purple. So just wet that a little bit. Pick it up. Like if I really want to I can paint the whole thing just to cover up those mistakes that I've made. And it's actually easy with the other brush. Okay. Get that colour off it. And now brush in there. There we are. So this has taken me quite some time to do this. I do like to stay in the lines, so just get that, there we go, And this side have obviously had blue fingerprints, which I did try not to do. So let's get that side. There we go. And then I am going to seal it. And there's a bit of purple missing there, so I have the purple, so sorry again. There we are. Oh, that was blue. Oh no, that was purple. So there we go. So we have blue and purple around that side. And then we have the purple and blue around that side. I do like that body better. I will get, I think, a gold pen and fix those up. Alrighty, so I have got a little gold pen, sort of like a little paintbrush. You just press it and the ink comes down into it. So I will just paint these little eyes. There we go, that's better. Here we are. Then I think I'm going to do the dots. Just get this down a little bit more. I haven't used this one. I did have another one, but it seems to have disappeared. There we go. I do like using these because they're a brush. It gets in all the little crevices. There we go, that's working better. Hope I haven't got you too close and you're blurred. Seems to be a story of my life. There we go. There we go. I'll put a couple of dots on it. So I think what I might do when I seal it, and I will come back when I'm doing that, is I might use my gloss sealer, my Solid Solutions gloss sealer, and that's better. And I will put a little bit of maybe like a white shimmer into the into my into my sealer. So maybe like a little bit of a reflective white, just so that it just covers up some of my little mistakes. Won't be super white. I might just put a tiny bit of mica powder in it. There we are. Get his eyes right. Look at that, very cool. So I can do his little dots. There we are, just like that. Don't have to do them all. They don't have to be perfect. Oops. There we are, dot up there. Alrighty, I'm going to finish some dots and then I will come back when I go to seal it. Alright, so it is time to do my polish. So I'm going to use my gloss varnish, and all I'm going to do is, like, I've just got a little heart mold here, and I'm going to probably fill up my heart. Then I'm going to get the tiniest bit of white. So this is Tekaru's white pearl. I don't want too much. A little bit more than that. Yeah, maybe that much in there. Then I'm going to get the tiniest bit crushed crystal. The tiny bit goes a very long way with this. So it is, I'll show you when I get the lid on. It is Unicorn Art Crushed Crystal Magical Mica. So I've had them probably a year and a half now. And you only use the tiniest little bit. So just going to get the end of my paintbrush. And my paintbrushes are normally just makeup brushes. Mix that in. Make sure it's well mixed. Go. Get a good stir. That mica off the edges. Okay, that looks all right. It's a bit of a shine. There we go. So I'm just going to give it one coat, I think, for the minute. And see how it goes, because I'm not sure how this is going to go with the colour. But I might just not do the colour. Might just get a smaller paintbrush. So just get all that mica in there. Get a really good mix. And just paint that on. See how that's picking up that blue. So I'm just going to wipe that off. Get that off. Okay. This may not work. Brush that off. So I'm just going to dab. And just dab that on. I'm not actually going to brush. There we go. It might be easier to dab. Oops, sorry, I've got a bug attacking me. Now I'm going to get a fine brush and I'm going to do in, actually this one will do, it's a longer brush. Go. I'm going to do in there. See how that's picking up the colour? Go. So just dab it in and then wipe. Once I get the seal on it, it should be totally sealed. But I will test this and I will definitely let you know whether it is sealed or not. So I'm just going to go around the inside bit there to get a seal on that. I will seal the inside of it. I'm not going to colour the inside of it. It's just a waste. So, oh, that was a bit stupid, wasn't it? Silly putting that around the rim. Alright, I think I'll just do do that. And just gently go around it like that. And then bring it down. There we go. So I'm not actually touching that colour. There we go. All right, I'm going to finish sealing this. Alrighty, so I have finished painting all of these. I have just demolded these. So they're just little number blocks. So I'll paint these up and take some photos. And I will take some photos of my little froggies. But I have finished this. Now in hindsight, what I should have done before I actually put anything on this is sealed around the parts that I didn't want colour. Because the minute I put a paintbrush to this, the colour all run. So I should have sealed this part first, sealed the inside so I wouldn't get fingerprints. I could have just wiped it over, but it is totally sealed now. I've put a little bit of white mica powder with the diamond sparkle, and then I put a little bit of white mica powder with a bit of interference purple. And these, the butterflies, I have just sealed with a matte sealer because I didn't want them shiny, so behind it is shiny. I will give this another clear coat just to seal it properly, and then I will give these another clear coat as well of the matte. So there's my two butterflies. So there we go. So thank you so very much for watching. I will put a candle or a light or something in this and take some photos. So thank you to all of my lovely subscribers. I really do appreciate every single one of you, every single comment that I make, that I get every single week. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate every comment, every single subscriber. It's free to subscribe as well if you want to subscribe to my channel if you haven't been here before. If you haven't been here before, welcome. And hit that like button. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for my comments last week. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate them. It has given me some really good ideas. I have learned a couple of things as well. So thank you so very much for watching. Hit the like button. Let me know what you think. Be safe. Go hug someone you love, and I will catch you next time.